Hello, and welcome to Dicey Dungeons. I've been really enjoying my time with this game. I have about almost 40 hours put into it, enjoying it so much that I thought I might record a little bit of it, just to kind of put some status. I have all the dice unlocked. I have the 6 episodes done with the warrior, the thief, the robot, and the inventor. So right now I'm working to try to get the whatever this is. I know because of the challenges, at some point you're supposed to fight Lady Luck, so I'm assuming that's kind of what's going on here. But until then, I still have to get the bonus round unlocked with the witch, and also complete the bonus round with the Jester. I think I'm going to go ahead and do a Jester run, actually. Just to talk about my preferences here, I think the witch is actually my least favorite character. I know there are some people out there who don't like the inventor that much, but I actually really enjoy the inventor. I find the witch to be hard in a way that I almost don't enjoy. There's a lot of thinking. I don't know if that makes me stupid or what, but you got to think too much with the witch. I don't know how I feel about that. But we will go with the Jester today, so I'm going to go ahead and I think I'm just going to try the bonus round. I was going sequentially, but I think the thing about going sequentially is I was hitting some roadblocks, and I like to just kind of get whatever that final thing is before we go and beat all the rest of the chapters. So grand finale, 20 countdown for 15 damage. That's gonna be pretty hard unless I have a really thin deck, so I think I'll just do dice cannon and then just plop whatever dice I have remaining, if I have any. So I'm gonna go ahead and fight the magician first to get this new piece of equipment. So the Jester on the bonus round actually uses the same layout or the same deck as in the parallel universe. So you have Blammo, which is a min 3, do 3. If you snap, which is the Jester's ultimate, if you snap 3 of them at once, you gain Fury. It's kind of hard to set up, but it's okay. You also have Kapow, which does 1 damage, and for every Kapow after that, you do an additional damage. So for right now, I'm just going to go ahead and put a 5 in Blammo. Put another 5 in Blammo. And then I'll do the 2 damage with Sour Candy, which heals for 2. If you're at full, it does the remainder as damage. And we have lethal next turn, no matter what. So we can do 1, plus another 2 would be 3, plus another 3 would be 6, which would kill. So we're going to go ahead and do that with Kapow. Okay, and that's the Magician down. The Magician is one of the easier first floor boss or first floor enemies I find. Gumball Machine will go ahead and take that. Space Marine also isn't too bad. So in general, this first floor was not too terrible for us. So I could get a new dice with Gumball Machine, which would set me up for 2 Kapows. But I think I'll just go Kapow. I'll take 3 damage here, and another 3 damage. So honestly, depending on what he rolls, we might not take any damage on this floor, which would be pretty good. But with 7 and with the deck layout I have right now, he probably will. 3 dice. The expected value is right around 11 or 12. So we probably will take 10, but that's okay. Not a big deal. Gonna do 1 there. Another 2 there. And then we will take 3 damage here, setting up 2 sour candies. So if we get snap, we could snap it if we want, probably, because the 10 damage would get us to our ult. We just have to clear 1 to be able to kill him anyway. Okay, so he will do the 10 damage. But that's okay. We're not, even if he rolls which is impossible, to get the 10 damage on the next turn, we're still fine. And we'll heal at the end of this one, so it's okay. So I'll just go ahead and recover 1 and re-roll, and then do the 1 damage. Pretty easy first floor. Okay, so now we have the high voltage pack, which is pretty good because I do like shock quite a bit, although depending on the enemy, shock can be almost useless. There are a lot of cases where it's really luck based too. And only one enemy is actually weak to shock, which is Stereo Head, versus Flames, which I usually don't value burning dice that heavily, although the AI usually does always pretty much take their burn dice if they can. But a lot more enemies are weak to fire damage. So I might try the Flame Blast pack this time. I'll just say in general I would usually take a shock or an ice if it's available. So we will go with this. Okay, so I actually forgot we were doing bonus round until just now, but we are doing bonus round, so that means that every floor we have different rules that we add on top until we get to the end. So we can either take a rule that's given to us, or we can basically re-roll and just pick a random rule. One of the dice being blind at the start of every turn doesn't bother me too much, so I'm actually going to take that one. We could have gotten a lot worse, so I value that more highly than taking a random roll. Alright, Sneezy's always kind of a monster. It's not an elimination round, so Sneezy can't basically one-turn us, but he still could do a lot of damage. Because of that, I'm going to fight the Pirate first to have the health open up to me, and then we'll heal when we fight Sneezy. Alternatively, we could fight Sneezy, hope we don't take too much damage, fight the Pirate, we'll heal then, and then we'll have 2 health coming out of Baby Squid, but I think we'll just do it this way. There's always a chance doing Pirate first, then Sneezy, we still might not take that much damage and might still have apples remaining. Okay, so I could snap. Usually when it comes to ultimates, or the superpower, as I call it, I'll take them as quickly as possible because oftentimes enemies will do enough damage to actually get it pretty much immediately back. Now the Jester's super, I will say I had the hardest time with because there are a lot of cases where I feel like the super actually doesn't give that much value. And because the way the super works with Kapow, I think that if I snap the 2 Kapows here, I'll actually only do 2 damage and then elevate the next Kapow. It won't apply 1 damage and then another 2 damage from the second Kapow. So with all that being said, I don't think I'm going to snap here. I'm going to save it. I'm going to try this dice on the min 3. Okay, and it is less than 3. So we actually have a lot of low rolls, which isn't too bad for us. So I'm going to do Kapow here. I'm going to go ahead and re-roll this dice, whatever it is. See if it's enough for Blammo. It's still not. So now, because I have 2 sour candies coming up, I actually will go ahead and snap. Because I'll do 2 damage here, so that's 4 damage. It's not too bad. It actually did do 5, so I think I might have been, I think it did 5. Thought I saw 5 there. I might be wrong about the way that works. But here's the sour candies. Okay, if I can clear out one of these things, then I could double on the spark. So let's see, this is either a 1 or a 2, so the addition here is not enough to get to Flame Blast through, which is unfortunate. So I think I have to take whatever this is, and then I'll just decrement this by 1, unfortunately. Not a great turn, to be honest. Okay, so he's gonna do 4 damage and burn 2 dice. So in a way, he has effectively done almost 8 damage, assuming we take all of the dice here. Alright. So here, I could set up something pretty good with Flame Blast, and if I take both of my dice, I actually, unfortunately, won't have Snap, because what I was going to say is, if we could give ourselves Snap by taking the burn dice, which, if you don't know, when you take a burn dice, it does too, it actually applies to your super. We might have been able to set up the Blammo, but I don't think that's going to be the case. So I'm going to start by taking the known even and burning, which will allow us to do 6 damage. Pretty good. And here, I think I'm just going to let this be because next turn there is a good chance that he will burn us again. So if nothing else, there's a high likelihood that we'll be able to snap and have the Blammo combo set up. Okay. Yeah, there it is. So just because I like this so much, whether it's a good play or not, just because I like this so much, sometimes you just gotta take it. There was probably a better way to lethal him there and keep our super, but it was just so much fun. Okay, so 18 health I have right now. Sneezy in one turn could break a 6 into 1s, which I will just say historically, every time I fight Sneezy, it feels like he always rolls a 6. So he could break 6 into 1s, which would allow him to do, or allowed them to do, I guess I should say. Four plus 4 is 8, plus another 2 is 10, plus another 2 is 12. So if he rolls a 6, we're pretty much on a 2-turn timer as it is. So I think just to be safe, I will take one of the apples. And I'll wait to upgrade until I know what all of the equipment I have available to me is in my deck. Okay, so let's see if this is higher than a 3. It is not. We go ahead and roll that one. So we could do 1 plus another 2 plus another 3 is 6 damage. Or we could just take a guaranteed 6 here. So I think we'll do that. And then do I want to heal or do I want to do another 1 damage? I'm going to go ahead and heal so that way next turn I have all the Kapals set up and we might be able to get a snap off. Okay, so he rolled a 4. Pretty much right around expected. He's still going to do just a ton of damage. 8 damage. Okay. And we're 1 away from our snap, which is kind of unfortunate. So I don't know what this dice is. I'm just going to go ahead and chuck it. So we have Flame Blast, but Flame Blast only does damage if an enemy's dice is burning, so that really doesn't help us right now. I'm going to chuck this. And then we do 3 damage either way. I'll just do it through Kapal. Next turn we can get a burn and do 6 damage. Okay, that's a good roll for us. He's only going to do 2 damage. And we have Snap. Don't think we need to use it. So let's see if this dice is an even. Okay, that's good. Unfortunately, we cannot do another burn and do 12 damage, which would be lethal, just because we will not have enough to decrement the counter. So in that case, I'm going to take the 6, and then take another 3 damage. Next turn, if we need to snap, we can. Again, at most, he does 4, 8, 10, 12, so we won't die. And see, as I mentioned, usually the AI will take a burn dice. In that case, it put him at 1. Now, if he would have rolled a 2, he would not have taken... Or sorry, if he had 2 health, he would not have taken that dice because it would have killed him. So the AI just kind of freezes in those situations, which makes sense, obviously. We wouldn't do that either. So I'm going to try to heal a little bit here. We have lethal with Kapal, so I'll just get 2 health there, 2 health there. Not that it matters, but because we will heal at the end of this fight, but I just like to have the muscle memory down, just so I don't forget in later fights. Alright, so that's Sneezy. And then we did heal. We're probably going to get, yep, something like duplicate. That usually happens. Table slam. Okay. Typically, with equipment in the Jester deck, just to kind of talk about how I'm thinking about this here. Typically with equipment in the Jester deck, if it's an equipment that either returns a dice or does something to a dice and it's pretty easy to put a dice into it, I will take it. Now, because this is an odd, this card, if it comes up, could be a blocker for us, and that could be bad. Now, right now, we have cards that require evens, and this would be a new card that requires odds, and pretty much everything else has free drop. So for right now, I think I'll just take it, just because it's such a fun card. Okay, so the last thing is we have this upgrade, but I think I want to get through Baby Squid to see if there's anything we want to buy, and then we can think about what we want to upgrade. Right now my deck is 16 cards, so it's not too large, but there are some cards that I think aren't that great in the deck. For instance, I really don't value Kapow too highly. If we get the Warrior card, Kapow can be kind of good. So that'll probably happen in the next level up. Also, Sour Candies, just in general, I don't value healing that much, although it's bit me in the past. But the Sour Candies are ones that I usually toss. Most likely, based on what I've seen in the past on the bonus round, because I have tried to play the bonus round, tried to beat the bonus round a couple times now. Most likely what'll happen is, at the shop, we'll get one card that kind of fits our archetype, which will be something related with burn, and then we'll get the ability to potentially discard 2 cards. So usually at this point in the game, what I'll do after we fight Baby Squid is I usually will pick up that card that will, in this case, have something to do with burn, and then I'll usually have enough to also destroy 1 card, and typically I destroy a Sour Candy at this point. Okay, Baby Squid. So we do have our snap that could come to use once we get to this Kapow area here in our deck, but for right now, burning a dice isn't too bad. We can duplicate, so what we're going to probably do is I'm going to duplicate the... Well, first let's see, is this a 3? It was higher than a 3. I'm going to go ahead and duplicate the 4s. I don't mind just go ahead and changing that up, and then do we want to snap? We could burn a dice, but I'm not sure that we'll get to the 4 increment that does 6 damage in this turn. It would be kind of hard because right now, even if we snap and start discarding, really we get blocked almost immediately because we ended up using Blammo, which was probably a little bit of a misplay, but I'm not even sure if we knew at that point. I don't think we did. I probably did, I just didn't see it. So in this case, obviously burning a dice is always good damage. It will do more damage than an early Kapow, so I think I will go ahead and burn. And let's see if I can get... Okay, so Flame Blast is coming up, so that was probably ill-advised, but sometimes that happens. So let's see, if I were to drop both Kapows now, we would go Blammo, Sour Candy, Kapow. We could get to the Flame Blast, so let's go ahead and snap. That'll do some damage. We're now at 3 on the increment for Kapow, so it doesn't really matter where we drop this one, but I'll just go ahead and drop it in Kapow just in case another one comes up. And then we'll go ahead and do the 6 damage. That was an okay turn for us. He's going to probably take another 2. Okay, that hurts really bad. That was a really good roll for Baby Squid. But it happens. Okay, so we can snap. We can do this nonsense, so let's go ahead and do that. Kind of fun. I'll snap the Blammos. Snap the Sour Candies. Let's go ahead and see if this is even. It's not even. So then in that case, we'll do this and that. Hi, Baby Squid. I like in the early episodes where Baby Squid kind of takes over for the Jester once you unlock him. Okay, yep, so here's Whip. So pretty much what I expected. Something to do with burn, we will take that. And then I will destroy a card. what do we have right now? I think I will get rid of a sour candy, probably. I usually do at this point. And then what can we upgrade? Sorry, someone knocked on my door there for a second, so I was just seeing if there was anyone coming. Sour candy, just curious, because we did discard it. I'm curious to see what it does. Okay, so heal 3, that's not that great. Okay, we can make Spark work on anything. That's a good way to stop it from blocking us. Same with Table Slam. Inflict 2 burn. That could be really good in combination with Flame Blast. 7, okay, 1 extra damage. That's not too good. Duplicate on anything is pretty good. Again, that can be a blocker for us. We might take that for right now. Being able to duplicate dice is pretty handy, especially with the Jester, who does not ever get additional dice on level up. Okay, so we spent all our money, so we'll go to the next floor. Enemies get 10% extra health. You know, that's not too bad. Enemies already start with 10% extra health in the bonus round, so this puts them at 20% extra health. But there are some really nasty things if you roll the random. So sometimes you just gotta value, would you rather roll the random and get something even worse, or would you rather take something that's not too bad? Okay. Dryad, Copycat, and Haunted Jar. So on this floor, we need to do 5, so that's a 2 and a 3, or a 3 and a 3. Probably, typically, and this is something that changed recently as I've gotten into the harder episodes, I used to only go the equipment path before the health paths. It doesn't necessarily apply with what we're looking at right now. Either the Dryad or the Haunted Jar will open up health to us. But as we've gotten to the harder episodes, I've learned always go the path that opens up health to you first, because enemies can just destroy you in this game sometimes. So just looking at our deck, none of our deck really benefits us against either of these, any of these characters in particular. Copycat I find is kind of weird with the Jester. He gets 3 equipment, and I don't really know what equipment is chosen necessarily for him, but I think no matter what, I do want to open up some health, so might as well get the free equipment. There you go, Dryad. And there's always that little graphical bug, I don't know why. Okay, so don't know what this is. So let's see, can we re-roll it? Okay, we can. Still don't know what it is, but we don't mind a duplicated 3. Okay. So what do we have upcoming? Nothing really Kapow related or Flame Blast related. So I will go ahead and just, for now, do the 3 damage. Healing a little bit on Sour Candy. It'll do 1 damage as excess, so it's about the same as Kapow. Might as well get the little bit of benefit from the heal. Might as well do this. We have 2 Blamos. So we will just go ahead and take those. Next turn, hopefully if we get a 6, we could combo into Flame Blast if we basically roll really well. Okay, so yeah, when I fight Dryad, sometimes I feel like she pretty much always gets a 6 on turn 1. But that's randomness for you. Okay, so I have 2 4s. So if somehow I can burn a dice, I can get rid with to do 6 damage with Flame Blast, which is good. Go ahead and do one of the Kapows here. And it does not look like... Well, actually, if we do it this way, we do Whip. We discard the Kapows. Oh, wait, sorry. That still doesn't work. But I will burn 1 dice for this turn, and then next turn I should be set up well to be able to do the burn and damage. I missed out on some damage there because I discarded the Kapows because I wasn't thinking through it, but It's okay, it happens, I guess. Alright, so we're gonna hope that this is even. It's not. So we have no evens, so Flame Blast again this turn really doesn't do much for us. Which is unfortunate also because we're pretty much gonna be stuck to one card for this whole turn. So I'm gonna do this first just because I don't know if this is 3 or greater. Go ahead and Blammo twice. We have Table Slam. Okay, so she will poison us. Okay, so we took a lot of damage from Dryad. Usually this is a lot more damage. 16 is a lot more damage than I typically take from Dryad. Gonna go ahead and reroll everything. Okay, we have a 6, so we have at least one even. So let's see. Okay, so there's the burn. We will go ahead and heal 2. That's a max 3, so we can't heal with that, so we'll just go ahead and do 6 damage for the kill. I always like to make sure I'm thinking about healing before doing damage because there have been a lot of situations where I just forget to heal, do the lethal, and miss out on some potential health. Now 2 health isn't the biggest deal in the world when you're facing enemies with starter equipment, but it can save you. Okay, Nudge. Again, it's one of those cards where you can put most dice into it and at least get it off the board. Nudging for us in this deck really doesn't do much. There isn't anything necessarily that's max, except for maybe Gumball Machine. But you can turn odds to evens and evens to odds with Nudge, so we will take it. Okay, so now we can fight Copycat or we can fight Haunted Jar. And I think in this situation we'll go ahead and fight Haunted Jar. Not for any particular reason, honestly. Either way we open up the health to us after the fight, we will heal off of either Haunted Jar or Copycat, so in that case it doesn't matter too much, but... Okay, it's not 3 or less, so it is 3 or more, so we'll use it here. Here we have our Flame Blast up, we almost have Spark, so we almost have the combo there. Go ahead and heal and get a new dice. In this case, I will just keep to... I won't be able to Spark and Flame Blast. Although I could Snap, so we'll go ahead and do that actually. And then we can just do it this way, just for funsies. Flame Blast. Get some Blammo value. Get Kapows, and I think that's where we stop. So pretty good damage on turn 1. And he'll take another 2, most likely. Yeah, pretty much always they will take the burn dice. Okay, so I will go ahead and duplicate. You know what, let's see if this is odd. Okay, it is. Oh, okay. I'll duplicate this. Let's see. Okay. Is it even? It is. Okay, we can whip. Okay, it was a 5. We can do 1 damage. We can do another 2 damage. And we're pretty much guaranteed to have lethal next turn. See, in this case, he definitely will not use that dice, so we do save ourselves from the regular poison, and he wasn't even able to double the poison on us. So not too much damage that we took this Haunted Jar fight, and it is gone. Okay, and there's the level up. Alright, so in this situation, again, here you get Warrior that adds to Kapow. That could be good. Discarding current hand, usually I take the Witch pretty much guaranteed because the Witch, anytime that you might be blocked otherwise, you can use the Magic Trick card and just get rid of all that without having to rely on discard, which can be good. Or we could try something new. Why don't we try something new? Alright, so let's see what we have in here. Kapow. Get another Kapow. We could get a Spatula. So I probably will end up picking up Spatula and then destroying a card. Spatula is one of those things, again, where you can just kind of put anything in and it does well. The other thing that we could think about is Kapow. Okay, so yeah, actually we can't get both. Sorry, I thought that said 2. We won't be able to get both. We'll get 1 more gold this floor, so we'll get to 3. So we could think about another Kapow now that we have Warrior. But until then, let's fight the Copycat. Again, like I said, I don't really understand how the Copycat works with the Jester. He does not cycle through equipment, he just gets equipment. So yeah, in this case he just kind of got 3 of our equipment, and I don't think that changes. So he really can only do 1 damage to us, assuming this is his equipment for this fight. So that's really good, I guess. We got lucky there. Okay, so let's see if this, yep. Okay, Whip is gonna go ahead and burn, which is good. So we could either do 2 damage or we could burn 1 dice. He has 3 dice. He will probably use them, although he does just generally behave very strangely, I found, with the Jester. Not only in equipment, but just his kind of AI actions. So for now, because Flame Blast is upcoming, I'm going to go ahead and just do the 2 damage that way. Okay. He elected to not even do damage. So we'll go ahead and nudge. Here I do want to get to Flame Blast, so I think the way that I'm going to do this is, well, we can go ahead and take the 2 damage. That's not too bad. So let's see, does this, okay, and that does work. We will burn a dice. We will do 4. Now we're in a really good situation next turn to get a whole bunch of value from Warrior. Again, burn, nudge, doesn't even do the damage area. See, that's what I'm talking about. Copycat kind of does some very odd things. Might as well do that just to get more. And if we had Snap right now, holy moly, okay. And might as well take the 2 damage to another 6, and we very much kill him next turn. So let's see, are you going to do 1 damage to me? We actually did more damage to ourselves than he did to us, because he didn't even... Okay, that time he actually attacked us. So we don't need to use Snap here. Just going to go ahead and recover a health with this. Okay, and we have lethal here. Pretty easy fight. We got really lucky with that Copycat fight. He copied some really bad equipment for him. So get this, and then you know what, just because we are kind of playing with Kapow, I'm just going to try it. Why not? Okay, all enemies get a rock. That's actually not too bad. It can do a lot of damage to us, but maybe just to show off what this random thing looks like. Okay, see, that was about as bad as it could have gone. That's the absolute worst one, I feel like, at least of the ones I've seen so far. That rule is terrible, especially with the Jester, because the Jester only gets 2 dice every turn, and he never gets more dice. So we very well probably just ended our run entirely there, but that's okay. It happens. So we have Sorceress here. Sorceress I found can be pretty tough. All of these actually can be pretty tough. Rotten Apple, just because I feel like it's very hard for the Jester to kind of ramp. Rotten Apple typically I found halves my health, which is something the Rotten Apple can do. And now that we only have 2 dice, I think it's definitely going to happen. So we're definitely now, because of that rule, we're definitely now looking for more duplicates or anything like that that can help us get more damage. Okay, we will go ahead. Do we want to start snapping? I don't think so. Oh, might as well. She might do enough damage to us for us to get it again. Only having 2 dice really hurts. And maybe I should specifically mention that it really hurts the Jester and the Witch because they don't get more dice on level up. So I'm stuck at 2 dice for the rest of the game now, which is really tough to manage. Okay, Warrior. We have some Kapows upcoming, so we could probably just kind of do this, see if this is above 3. It is. We'll be able to duplicate. We'll at least get some good value off that 1 Kapow we have upcoming. But this is all gonna hurt. Okay, odd, she didn't use her 2 there. Oh, okay, sorry, I was thinking elimination round sorceress, where she can put the dice in either of these without the min 4. So we'll just go ahead and duplicate this. Use this up. Let's see if this is even. It is not. So we will put that here probably. Do we have a way to snap spark? We have a way to snap blammo. Go ahead and do that. And then we will get 5 damage off of here, and next turn we might be able to get this combo rolling. She probably will use that burn dice too, so we do another 2 damage. Okay. A lot of damage from Sorceress, but now that we only have 2 dice, it kind of is what it is, really. Unfortunately, we probably won't be able to do this. Okay, usually she'll throw one into Cauldron no matter what. Okay, and that really hurts. Alright, this is a bad look. The 2 burn dice really hurt us right now. She burned 2 and we only have 2. So let's think about this. Snapping isn't going to give us any value upcoming, unfortunately. And this is why I say I find the Jester super the hardest to use. There are a lot of situations where even I have a loaded deck with Kapals. They're probably all at the bottom because they got reshuffled, but even still, I find there are a lot of situations where Snap just kind of doesn't let you do anything. These 3 cards, the next 3 cards, I can't set up any good Snap plays. We have 6 health to work with, so we can use both of our dice. We'll just be at 2, and honestly, that's probably the run from that point. But with Kapal, we'll do 1 damage. She'll be at 6. There's a chance that this burnt dice here is a 6. We could put it into whip, and she would be dead. It's a small chance, but there is a chance. Really, we have no better play than that, because if we put anything in here, we get 1. We put 3 in whip, we'll only get a max of 4 damage that way. So we'll try it. And it was a 5. Oh, that hurts. Okay. It is what it is. Send me, Sorceress. Ow! Okay, well, I wanted to try some stuff. I wanted to just get a video up here. I'm just loving Dicey Dungeons in general. Even in that loss, I had a ton of fun. I tried some new things. I think generally they worked until I tried to show off the random rule set, because bringing Jester and Witch's dice down to 2 is almost just a run ruiner right there. It's very hard to come back from that. With the Witch, at least theoretically, you could have Hall of Mirrors, which allows you to get more dice, so maybe you could come back from it, but even still, especially with the Jester, he has such a hard time actually building out more dice that once I got that rule, I pretty much knew. Now, there was a good chance we probably could have played that Sorceress, fight better, but it would have been very hard to actually successfully complete that run. So anyway, thanks for watching Dicey Dungeons. I don't know how often I'll record these or if I'll even record anymore, but I thought it would be fun to kind of record something I'm really enjoying right now. Bye-bye.